And welcome back to episode 204 of the Hit the Showers podcast, presented to you by the Foolproof Entertainment Network. As always, I'm your host, Clifford Jordan Jennings, here with my point man and co-host, Malcolm. Fuck them birds in the flock they came from, King. How you feeling?
2-0. How the Raiders feeling?
Man, we 1-1. Shut the fuck up. We got my guy Coach Mike in the building and my guy CT. What's happening with y'all?
What's good?
You know, another week of football.
Amen.
Man, we can jump into it, and I like to get my licks out early.
Yeah. Anyway. See, I wanted to jump in early so I didn't
Bills
miss
Raiders game.
Where the Bills not only beat the Raiders, they laid an ass whooping on the Raiders.
They sure fucking did.
What was the final score in that game?
Final score 38-10.
Woo!
We beat you by 28. Yeah, that classifies as an ass whooping.
Yeah, that was a murder. But I mean, you know, we was missing some pieces. Not to say that would have helped too much. I just think that it goes to show, like I've been saying before the season started, Garoppolo doesn't make it past week 6. He doesn't make it past week 6 before he gets pulled.
I don't think that's.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Yeah, you can't put it all on him, Cliff, because you even said that, like, once again, going back to the Raiders organization, they're not using their pieces correct. Josh Jacobs.
No, they definitely didn't use their pieces correct, and I mean the example is Josh Jacobs is a good example with 9 carries, -2 yards, and a 3-yard long. But then
the Bills' defense is a bitch, ain't it?
I don't even think it's that, because he was making a lot of yards after catch. He had 5 receptions, 51 yards off of 6 targets.
Out of the back.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's just Garoppolo's style. Like he's a screen short yardage kind of guy. And
he's a check down guy.
Yeah.
Well, you guys didn't want the guy that could gunsling it down the field. He's in New Orleans now.
Derek Carr,
man, that motherfucker could gunsling shit.
Brett Favre 2.0.
That motherfucker could. We've been waiting on him to sling a gun or two. It ain't happened in the 9 years we had him. It's about time you let him go. Fuck, this nigga ain't the Duke.
He still don't look no better than me.
I mean, he in a better division. He in a better division. He didn't have to worry about the same defenses that he had to worry about in the AFC, especially the AFC West. And I think that may be a culture shock for both of them, where Carr looks a little better than he did last year, and you see Garoppolo look a little worse than he ever has, because you went from the easier division, a division where you were in the NFC Championship 3 years in a row, Super Bowl 1 year.
Yep.
Was it a row? There might have been a year or two between there. It could have been. I can't remember, though. But
I think 3 in a row.
Now you all of a sudden in the toughest division of all in the AFC West, I would say, at the moment. Now you don't start to look as good as you did. I don't think he makes it past 6.
I just think he needs a little more time.
I don't think the AFC West is the toughest right now.
No.
I think it's Mike's division. I think it's still Mike's division.
The Beast and the Beast, and it's still the East. That's right.
Because Cliff, you got to think. I know what you're getting at with like the Chiefs, clearly, but like as a collective, that's probably the best division right now in football as a collective. Because the Chiefs aren't the same Chiefs, clearly. The Raiders.
It's hard to say that though.
Well, what do you mean?
true.
The Chargers just lost to the Titans. It's as a collective. I mean, I know Aaron Rodgers is out, but like even like the Jets are still like they still have a squad. Like besides Zach Wilson, like they still
The
have.
Jets are
great
doomed.
squad.
As soon as Aaron Rodgers went out, the Jets are doomed. They can eliminate themselves from anywhere they thought they were going to be this year.
Well, not necessarily because they could always replace Zach. It's not too late. See, that's the thing. It's
Who
not
are they
too
going to
late.
replace him with, though?
I mean, there's other people out there. I mean, there's other. They can make trades, or there's other free agents.
We talk
Yeah,
about
true.
that all the time. You can make a trade for the best quarterback in the world, but during a season, it's still a long shot for y'all to make it anywhere. You got to give that guy time to learn a playbook, learn a scheme, all kinds of shit.
I mean, Baker Mayfield came off the jet in Los Angeles last year and got a
Right,
win.
but he did that in 1-2 games.
No, he did that.
Yeah,
Well,
one or
right.
two games.
But
before he
my
was
whole
out of
point
there.
is he can't. Yeah, but
It
I
gets
mean,
a lot harder to do it an entire season. So again, whatever thoughts that the Jets had that they were going to be this year is done. You're not going to get it done with Zach. Zach can't miss a game without throwing an interception. Wilson, and he threw 3 last week.
I mean,
But
I
he
still
played a
think-
tough defense.
Well, and on top of that, I think their defense will keep them in more games. Like
Right.
he's going to have to be a game managing quarterback. I agree
Mhm.
with you in the sense that he is going to have to clean up the turnovers, but you can afford 1 or 2 a game with him from the standpoint of that defense is that good.
I don't know, man.
I don't
And to
know.
keep it a buck, Cliff, you
I
probably
don't
can
know.
make an argument. You probably can make an argument for the AFC North right now too. All four of those teams. I mean, the Bengals have struggled a little bit, but like you said, Burrow's coming off injury. But that's looking like a nice division right now as a collective.
And he looked like he re-injured himself, so
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't think it's the AFC West at this point in time. I did say
No.
it before the season, but I don't think it is at this point in time. The Chiefs.
I think
are
it's
still the same Chiefs.
I think it's the AFC East, and
Right.
I can make the argument for maybe the NFC West
Nothing in
with
the
the
NFC.
Seahawks. With the Seahawks.
Nothing
with the
in NFC.
Seahawks, the 49ers, the
that's a good-
Rams.
That's a
Like
good point. That's a good call
Nothing in
out.
the NFC because you lost the guy that took you there in the 49ers. I will put them at the top of there. But you haven't done anything prior to or
Wait,
after.
you lost the guy that took you there. Brock Purdy took him there.
No,
He's still-
Brock Purdy didn't. Brock Purdy got him to the playoffs, but he didn't get him to the championship game. You lost the guy that was taking you to the championship game in Garoppolo. So
But
to
couldn't
be
get him over the
honest,
hump.
as much as you still have a lot of your pieces, that team with the new quarterback is unproven.
But what you mean? They said Brock Purdy's been putting
Brock-
up numbers still.
I was
He hasn't
about to
lost a
say,
game. He hasn't
Brock-
lost a game yet, right?
right,
he hasn't
and
lost
Brock
a regular
Purdy.
season game.
I think Cliff, you're not giving him enough credit.
No.
And-
Not yet.
but that's not. But
That's
that's
crazy.
that doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
Not
because,
yet at all.
But how? Because you wanted to see some games from him last year. He showed you some games. He really did well until he got hurt, and that was my squad that hurt him.
He did. He
So
did.
we can't.
But I
disown him
can't.
for
You're
that.
at the top of that division right now, being the 49ers. I can't allow somebody to say that you can make an argument for that if the top of the team is on a team that hasn't been anywhere.
I mean, but the flip side of that is Brock Purdy right now is looking like the Tom Brady template. 7th round pick, took his
Correct.
team to the playoffs last year
Well, 5th,
as a
right?
rookie.
No, he was
No,
Mr. Irrelevant.
Brady
He
was
Mr. Irrelevant.
5th.
No,
No,
he was
Brady was
sixth.
last. Both were last
Yeah,
pick. I
both
thought.
were in the last round.
I thought
Yeah,
Brady
both
was
were.
5th round.
No,
seventh.
no,
Last round.
Brady, no.
So I mean,
Close to last
I
year.
hear you. I hear you. He hasn't won playoff games yet, but he's a sophomore quarterback. Like he's in his second year in the league.
Tom
No,
Brady.
I'm not hating on Brock. I'm hating on putting a division where that's the top. That's
But
the
he
top
got
team
them
in it.
there last year.
Right.
But he got them to the top.
It was like
he
a Nick
got them
Foles
to the top of the
situation,
division.
but basically like a Nick Foles situation. You have to carry the baton and finish strong. You know, some could drop in and lose the race, but you got to finish strong if you want to win. Now he didn't win the championship,
Yeah,
but
I
he
don't.
went. He went.
That
a
was
lot
also a management decision for
right.
Garoppolo to take back over when Purdy was playing well.
Right. He exceeded expectations by leaps and bounds,
No,
Right.
correct.
and he's a top quarterback at the
Correct,
moment.
but
I mean,
but you can't jump the Chiefs, right? The Chiefs are still the reigning champion. They're still at
It's
the
not
top.
that
So
right.
to,
It's not
to
that
put a
anyone's
team,
jumping the
so
Chiefs.
but to put a team saying that they're the best,
But we weren't talking about individual teams. We were
Right,
talking
we're talking
about the
about
most
division.
competitive
the
division.
collective. But is that not the top team in that division?
It is, but that doesn't mean the division isn't competitive. I would actually argue that means the division is even more competitive.
Yeah, Cliff, because the Seahawks and the Lions just went through a shootout last weekend.
Yeah, but
Right.
I mean,
Who's
those
gonna
are
win?
those are teams that are on the rise. But I can't, in my opinion, give you a toughest division situation.
Well, I will damn sure say that it's better than the AFC West. How about that?
Right. I mean, and that's that I agree. That's just the truth. Because to be honest with you, if you do like it's like math, if you do the average with the teams in the AFC West, like it's not in comparison as a collective on the average with the other teams, even from records. I bet probably,
Yeah.
from team records probably.
No, I would
And I
say
get
that.
And I get what you're saying about competition. Like I'm not saying that, maybe Brock Purdy. I don't know who the 49ers have played so far. I don't.
Well, and right now,
The Steelers.
I think objectively, the
Wow.
NFC East is in the conversation for the toughest divisions because you've got 3 2-0 teams.
Hmm.
The AFC East from a historical perspective, and then probably the AFC North.
That's what right. AFC North.
Now,
is good.
that's only if you believe Burrow will get healthy, and if you
I
think
don't
Deshaun
even-
Watson, and if you think Deshaun Watson is actually an NFL quarterback, which I don't.
I think
And I
Right.
said
Well,
that
I
last
mean-
year, and I said that the year before.
I think
That
even saying
Deshaun
that,
Watson is about done in this league.
the AFC North is wild
Mm-hmm.
to say too, because the Ravens slid past that first game, slid past it. The Bengals are
And-
0-2. The Browns
is why-
were always looking awful and lost Nick Chubb, and the Steelers never look good. So I wouldn't ever.
Well,
say
you
the
can't.
AFC
Well, you
North.
can't.
And
well,
I-
hold on. You
and I
can't
think
say
that
they
leaves
never
us-
look good.
I'm talking about since you've had Kenny Pickett, since
Well,
that's your
Cliff-
starting guy.
Well, hold on, Cliff. We talked about this off air last night. Kenny Pickett has wow moments. I said he also has what the hell moments as well.
Right.
But when Kenny Pickett makes plays, bro, he makes plays.
But see,
I
that's
don't know
a
if he-
playmaker doesn't equal out being a great quarterback.
That's fine. But like
But
Mike
that-
and I said, we're not talking about players. We're talking about the team.
Well, and that also reminds me of another playmaker quarterback for Pittsburgh
Who
who made dumb decisions but could make the big play when you needed
But
it. Now,
Roethlisberger proved
am I
more than
saying
Pickett.
I agree with you, and I'm not saying Pickett is anywhere near that, but it's
Right.
like Pittsburgh doesn't need an all-star quarterback.
All
They
I'm
That's
proved
saying,
not
it.
what that squad is built on. That's not what that offense is built on. That's not what that organization is built on.
all I'm saying is, would you rather play Pittsburgh or would you rather play the Chargers?
I
Would
don't
Would you rather
know
play
because
Pittsburgh or would you rather play the Chargers?
Pittsburgh has a better
Chargers.
defense.
You would rather play the Chargers than Pittsburgh?
I haven't watched enough of the
You-
Chargers to
I'd
comment,
rather-
but the
Patriots
Chargers are
on the way to
0-2.
the Super Bowl. You would rather see them play the Chargers than Pittsburgh?
Then a
is
Mike
what you're saying.
Tomlin's Pittsburgh.
Well, hold
team?
on, Cliff.
Yes.
No one's scared of the Chargers. They just lost to Ryan Tannehill. We just talked
Right.
about
Say
it.
Mike Tomlin. You
Come
gonna
on,
go
Cliff.
against him?
Would you rather see the Titans or the Steelers? Typically, I bet y'all gonna say the Steelers over the Titans. And we can't just go off of that theory because they just beat the Titans. Just beat the Chargers.
Right.
No-
You know
Seen
what
the
you're getting out of the
Titans beat the Chargers.
Chargers. You don't know what you're finna get out of the Steelers. That's
And that is the
Listen.
truth. But you do know one thing you do know about Pittsburgh is that defense is there.
and they
That's
don't
one of the
lose.
top defenses in the league. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if you watched that Browns game, Cliff.
You in a step
Deshaun
above the
Watson.
Jet situation.
What you
in a
mean?
step above the Jet situation.
You should play
Explain.
Pittsburgh
Where
to
as
the
good as your
Jets.
team is as a whole around you, with the guy leading the guy in the backfield leading your squad, there's only so far you get.
But Cliff, Mike Tomlin's never fell below
Mike
500.
Tomlin though on the
He's never
sideline.
fell below
Right, but
500.
again, that's the same thing we said about Belichick, and people were ready to write him off with that bad Mac Jones season. They can't take the snaps for these niggas. They can't do it. They're good
Right.
coaches, but you
Well, in
can't
all
take the
fairness-
snaps for these quarterbacks.
I mean,
They're all
this-
young though. Like
Right.
Correct. And that
And they're-
goes to a lot of the reason. I've said I think Zach Wilson will be a good quarterback, but you have to develop somebody like him.
yeah, he got
Kenny
thrown.
Pickett
He got
is
thrown
no
to the
different.
fire. they both got thrown to the fire
did.
because there was no one else, and I agree with that.
Right.
And that's
But I
all
also
I'm saying
don't know. But I also don't know who's out there that isn't starting that should be starting over either one of those guys.
Exactly. And to Mike's point again, Cliff,
I would have to
Pittsburgh's
think on
known.
that.
Pittsburgh's not known to get the Aaron Rodgers. The greatest quarterback they ever had, we all know, was Terry Bradshaw. They don't do that.
Hold on, give me
That
one
was a
second.
once in a lifetime. That was a once in a lifetime thing for them. But
Well,
I mean,
since he left, I am going to go back to the Bills Raiders ass whooping.
right.
Unlock this door.
We finally had it back over 100 yards, so that was
Thank
nice. I'm believing
Harris
in Cook.
got a touchdown.
I'm also believing in this Cook Harris combo that we've got going on, and Gabe Davis led the receivers. Glad that he's my fantasy.
92 yards and a touchdown. That was
and
really because of that
Diggs-
40-yard long, though.
But Diggs was dicing him up early, and which opens up Davis, which is the Bills' whole game plan. And the fact that they can run the ball now, that's going to allow for when Josh is having a bad day, run the fucking ball. And we proved we could run the ball this week.
That's
And
why
for
I
me,
picked up Cook.
That is a huge indicator for the Buffalo offense moving forward. And I
Mhm.
think as long as the defense can stay healthy, I think the East is in reach again.
Is Von Miller back or is he still out?
I think he still has one more week, or he might be back this week.
Okay.
But honestly, the dude we picked up, the other D end we picked up, another young guy, I am liking both of our defensive ends. I like Ed Oliver in the middle. Like, we have a solid squad on defense right now.
There's a lot of good defenses out there right now, to be honest.
It is.
Well, and it
That's
feels
what I was
like
saying, Cliff. Defense wins championships, some say. So even though you might not have that premier quarterback that you want or love, if your defense can step
defense
up,
wins championships when you have an opportunity.
Well, what's the saying? Defense wins championships, offense wins games.
Right, and you have to have the opportunity to win a championship, and you don't get it with a Zach Wilson. You don't get it with a Kenny Pickett. Again, I'm not saying that they don't develop into being great quarterbacks. They're
just
clearly
not there yet.
ready. They're very
the only
clearly
difference is,
not
but I
ready.
wouldn't put Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett on quite the same level right now.
I said that they were on two different. I said I wouldn't put Kenny quite on Zach's, but they're in the same boat. They're in the exact same boat.
I would. They play the same to me.
Hell no, you ain't.
They
you
do
watching-
play similar. But
Hell
beyond that, I don't know if I would let the Raiders be a good barometer on how well your run game and all that shit is, because they've never
True.
been good at stopping that.
Well, and I said it last week with the Jets. Like, I think it proves that we are running the ball this season, whereas the last 3 or 4 we really couldn't.
Right. No, I agree with that.
Like Singletary was not getting it done, and some of that
He's
was
still not in
on the
Texas.
schemes and maybe it was Singletary then, but like with Cook in the backfield, we're moving the ball and we're giving carries. Like he is not the only person carrying the ball.
Yeah, James Cook had a 7.2 average last week. 17 carries, 123 yards.
I don't want to talk about it. Wasn't fucking enough, man.
No, it was a decent game. I just, it's like, of course, well, really, it was no choice, right? It was a no choice situation because Josh Allen had a string of bad games from last season leading into this one. And if you didn't make something happen against the Raiders, motherfuckers would have been looking at you funny.
Oh yeah, no, I would have been off of I would have been like, well, there goes our window.
Yeah, motherfuckers would have been
right
looking at you funny.
now. Right now, the window's still cracked.
Got a little AC coming in.
But all that to say, I just don't see Jimmy G making it too far this season.
I think he does.
I don't see it at all, and I think that a lot of the reason behind that is we saw how Devontae Adams was with Derek Carr when he wasn't getting him the ball. Now, Devontae had a decent game last week, but a lot of those passes were put in situations where that was a risky shot you took there. It's going to come a time where he's like, nah, not anymore, bruh. I'm not about to keep going up, getting hit for these balls that you're throwing me. If you can't hit me where I want to be hit, I'm not having it. Which is why that game 1, you seen a heavy favorite on Jacoby Myers. Why? Because he came out of New England as well.
Fuck New England.
Now, they didn't play together, I don't
sure.
believe, but at the same time, I'm sure he felt a comfort in knowing he's been trained under, the same squad I have.
Yeah, I'm sure they took some reps together at practice or something.
So when he comes back, I can only see controversy brewing from here. And you're too much of a veteran QB to be making the decisions that you make. He ended that game 16 for 24, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. And remember, I said to you, Malk, off air, Jimmy Garoppolo may be one of the only quarterbacks in the entire league who has had 0 sacks, 0 hurries in his first 2 weeks. There is no reason that you should be making those bad mistakes when all these other quarterbacks are getting 6 sacks, 22 hurries, and they have a better stat line than you. You won't make it past week 6 playing like that.
But you can't compare that because, again, there's different factors, right?
Clearly, but the fact that you're not being touched or hurried is enough. I don't care what else the other factors are. You could have better receivers, you could have all that, but you are not getting sacked nor hurried, which means you have time to make the right decision, and you're still not making it. That's a problem, especially for a veteran quarterback. We can talk about Zach and Kenny all we like, but Jimmy, who had the opportunity to sit behind the great TB12, there's no excuse for that.
Well, that was very short-lived, though, wasn't it?
It was short enough, but I'm saying regardless, you've been in the league much longer than these guys that were already being hard on. There's no reason why I won't be hard on you as well.
But I guess when you look at the bigger picture, right, what's the common denominator in all of this? Is it so much it's Derek Carr and Jimmy Garoppolo, or is it the organization? Because that's the common denominator, right? Is it ironic?
Even Derek got touched, though.
Okay.
Oh, are we going to be a Derek Carr defender now that he's not with the Raiders?
I guess right, because that's what I'm saying. Is like, is it so much
is that Malk or me? Is that for Malk or me?
He's talking to you.
I was talking to you.
No, even Derek got touched. Even Derek's issue was being too tentative in the pocket, worried about getting sacked and not taking the time to make your reads fall into the ground before you get a sack. You were scary back there. Garoppolo has yet to be given a reason to be scary.
But
so
my
why
question
are
is,
you throwing these picks?
But like I said, again, flipping the question back, is it more of an ironic thing that it's these quarterbacks allegedly, or does it go back to the top from the bottom of the organization, the systems and the management and the people running the show?
I mean, we can say that all we want, but at the end of the day, you're the guy out there making the passes. We can't say these receivers aren't open. You have one of the best route runners in the league. You hit Jacoby Myers for almost 200 yards your first game. So you have the tools downfield to assist you. It's a lot of players with less that are doing more, is what I'm saying. That are getting rushed, hurried, and touched in that backfield. So I don't care if you want to put it on the coach, the organization. You still have the tools out there on the field, and it's your arm getting it done.
Mick Lombardi is your guys' offensive coordinator. This motherfucker is younger than you and Mike. Now, not that has anything to do with anything.
Whatever. I was the OC on a flag football team.
I'm just saying, I think you're being a little, because clearly we've seen success with Garoppolo in San Francisco, right? Now, he did have a better team and a better offensive line, and let's be honest, he had better coaching as a whole. So it was really a demotion for Jimmy coming to Las Vegas. So I don't expect him to shine.
It wasn't a demotion because you got your money.
You got
paid.
Fine.
You just went to a different place.
From a team perspective.
but Cliff, we always say not all money is good money. So he might have got paid. Okay, Miles Sanders. I think he got paid on the Panthers. I'm pretty sure they paid him, right?
Right.
You didn't go to a better situation, though. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying. Like, if you got time, bro, throw that ball and be on your shit. But I wonder, like I said, as an organization, like maybe he needs more coddling. Maybe he needs the top of the top coaches for him to play well.
You can't say that for a veteran like a Garoppolo. You can say that for Zach Wilson. You can say that for Kenny Pickett. But when you've been around for as many years as Jimmy has been around, there is no more coddling for you, bruh. That's the reason why they picked you up, because you were a vet. There's no more coddling. There's no reason on the field,
right,
why you should be producing the way you're producing. Now, off the field, decision making by the OCs and the coaches, that's different. But you have open targets. Not only do you have open targets, you have targets that can get themselves open on a broken down play. And you're not getting touched. And the line's holding up for you.
It's fair. But again, if it comes back to play calling in terms of if it comes back to play calling in terms of throwing or only picking the short routes to try to get him comfortable, there is that as well.
No, I think he's gonna pick him anyway. That was my number one critique when he came into the when they chose to bring him in. Is I said, you got the number one deep ball runner on your squad and the number one quarterback who doesn't throw deep.
Right,
doesn't match.
because he doesn't have to. He didn't have to in San Francisco because they ran the ball so much. Everything he had was off of play action and was screen game to basically open up the run.
It was set up for him by design. Think about the coaches he's had: Bill Belichick, the Shanahan, both the Shanahans, because I believe Kyle's dad is like the GM or some shit helping out or whatever he does. And,
so in a roundabout way, that says that you don't make it past week 6 in Oakland.
No, it says that he's a game manager quarterback, and if you don't have a run game, you can't be successful.
Cliff, think about it. If Josh McDaniels says my job is potentially on the line, do you think he's going to sit Jimmy for Aiden O'Connell unless it's injury?
That could be the reason your job's on the line.
If my job's on the line, and this is just me, and I'm going to ride or die with Garoppolo unless I absolutely have to pull him.
And that's what I'm saying. That
he hasn't played. Yeah, he's not going to play it that bad to where they absolutely have to pull him.
No, because that's not the expectation with a Garoppolo. The expectation with Garoppolo is to come in and manage a game.
They didn't bring him here just to sit him down, Cliff.
We don't know that by a week 6.
And that's fine. But like I said, by a week 6, and McDaniels fuck around and lose his job if he do some shit like that.
They're already asking for his head.
And then that's fine.
The Raiders community is already saying get rid of McDaniels. They're already saying that.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Look at how y'all run things. Y'all don't.
That's why they'll never work. Yeah, so they'll never work.
Y'all don't even give nobody no time to cook.
Oh, he don't work out 1 year.
No, I agree. When you do have somebody that does cook, you get rid of them.
Either way,
get rid of them. You had your interim coach who went undefeated for the back half of the season that you didn't want to give an opportunity to.
Special team
and wanted a big name. Because what you're saying is you have to be a specific breed or type of person to be able to work well in that organization. And just because you think somebody has a big name does not mean that they fit well into your system, i.e. Josh McDaniels, i.e. Jimmy Garoppolo. So what I'm getting at is you are right from the perspective of the organizational decisions that they make aren't the best.
Right.
They're not the best. But your job as a coach, your job as a quarterback is to get there, see what it is you have to work with, adapt, and make something happen.
Well, and
he might not have the talent no more either. Like he lost Waller, he lost
CT. I wish I had a mute button for you. I'll put you on timeout for that statement. This is the most talented offense the Raiders have had in easy a decade.
And they all get banged up.
Easy a decade. We just came off of last season with the number one rushing running back. We got Devontae Adams. We just got your Jacoby Myers, who, mind you, in fantasy before he went out with the concussion protocol, was the 3rd wide receiver ranked in the league.
Oh, Mike's gone. Damn.
He said he was leaving at 5. I think.
Yeah. So when you say maybe they don't have talent, we just talked about last week how Waller wasn't looking like Waller in New York.
After 1 game, though, 2 games. I feel like you got to get settled in. Like
I'm just saying, Waller wouldn't have been the name that I would have dropped when I said doesn't have talent. or maybe they don't have the talent. What
Because
is
look at
it
y'all
that you
tight end
need?
spot now. Look at like I'm sure who is it now? That
It's
it start with an
Jones.
M. With an M.
no, it's
Who are we talking about?
fuck, what is his name?
So I'm saying you
You
lost
talking
some. Like I
about
feel like you
Mayers? You're thinking of the
lost
rookie.
Collins.
You said we lost who?
Was it Collins at the receiver spot?
We
Matt
lost
Collins?
Matt Collins. Who cares?
I'm just saying you
He doesn't
lost some
start in.
guys
He
on.
doesn't start in Atlanta.
Well, he's injured right now, I think, or he was.
He was coming back from injury after last season.
He had some fantasy points. I think he had 8.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, we got rid of extra weight. Darren Waller was a good tight end, but like I've always said, does it pay to keep a good tight end that's never available? That's
Winfield
always out
don't
with
look the
injury.
same.
They got Zach Ertz still hanging around the league for some reason.
Well, that's here nor there. He's on the Cardinals. I don't have nothing to do with the Cardinals. I'm just saying, as far as maybe doesn't have the talent, that's just a wild thing to say.
I don't think they do,
Offensively, at
Phil.
least.
Y'all got 2 players on offense.
Who?
Y'all,
Who are the 2 players?
Devontae and Jacobs.
Okay. So the number one running back and the number 1 wide receiver a couple years ago.
I wouldn't say he's a number 1 running back, but
He is. That's fact. That's a fact. Maybe not after the 2 first weeks of this season, but he factually did lead the league in touchdowns and yards last year. So he is the number 1 running back coming into this year. There's a lot of teams with a lot less doing a lot more. You just can't make excuses
like
for that.
who?
What do you mean, like who? There's what, 30 teams in the league?
32.
32 teams in
32,
the league?
yeah.
There's 31 without the best wide receiver. There's 31 without the best running back.
I just don't think y'all that offensively that talented for real. Y'all got 2. If y'all shut them down, and you see Hunter ain't been on nothing lately since I don't know when.
Hunter
so.
hasn't played. Hunter Renfrow hasn't played because of
He
Jacoby.
hasn't.
He played last
He
week.
definitely
He
played.
played last week because Jacoby Myers was out on concussion protocol. The week before, I believe he only lined up on 3 snaps and had 1 catch. He
That's
hadn't
what I'm
played.
saying. Years prior, he was that go-to guy, but
And
now
that's another reason to prove why you're wrong, because a couple years ago he was the talent. Now your position is replaced because we've gotten more.
Who's the other guys though?
We just said Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker. They're using a lot more than Hunter Renfrow, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Renfro's job was replaced because of the talent that we brought in. So if he was the talent a few years ago, we can't then now say, well, maybe they don't have any more talent. We have so much talent, the talent's getting replaced.
I just don't
So that's
think
not an
y'all that.
excuse either. Jimmy doesn't make it past week 6. Mark my words. I wish they put shit like that on FanDuel, where you could bet on how long a quarterback lasts at their position, shit like that. Because I'm telling you, week 7 at the max, you won't see this. I'm telling you.
I think he's gonna keep it rolling.
And the Raiders, quote, coach, like you said, Malk, worried about their position, you should be, because you're at a team that rotates coaches like draws. So don't try to hold on to your job by keeping the bum at quarterback because he's the name. They're going to get rid of you anyway, G. You might as well do what you can do to win.
You right on that.
And again, I'm not saying that Aiden O'Connell is the means to winning, but at some point you have to put your nuts on the table and be like, bruh, you're not producing. You're out. You're out. We're going to lose regardless. I might as well start getting my youngins some reps so they can come in and be something. Why else would you even ask to have your contract restructured if they didn't have any other talent they were looking to get?
Just to bring in other pieces.
But you didn't bring none in. That's what I'm saying.
There's still time, though. You know what I mean?
There's still time, and that gives me the idea that those pieces that you're bringing in would be defensive pieces. because the contract was restructured before the season started. So I would imagine if you were looking for some offensive help, you would have had to have gotten that before the season started.
Well, like I said, I mean, Cam Akers, not to jump the gun, he just got traded. You know what I mean? People are making moves. You know, it's never too late. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right, but Cam Akers is also a running back, and we're not even using the running back that we had correct. So what help can we do with that? A position like a running back is just gonna fall in line. I know what a halfback dive is, a counter is, a off. Like the shit that they have to worry about is their blocking assignments and responsibilities. But you can usually put any running back on any team at any point in the season and say hit the hole.
I mean, Dalvin Cook ain't doing it.
Or Madsen.
Shit,
That's
but
why
we
they
can
brought in
talk about
Akers.
we can talk about a whole lot of other court running backs that did. What about Jeff Wilson when he came to Miami? He came in producing. There's a whole lot of running backs that get traded and go to a new team and do produce.
Right.
All I'm saying is that position, of course, is one that doesn't account for the memorization of a yearbook of a playbook, like a quarterback or a lineman, or you know what I'm saying.
Well, they're only gonna try to bring in a quarterback, Cliff, if an Aaron Rodgers situation happens. I highly doubt, unless an Aaron Rodgers situation happens, that they're gonna try to bring. You guys are gonna try to sign another.
But I feel like that happens at the end of the year. At the end of the year, you hear about a big name quarterback wanting to change teams, but you had him restructure his contract before the season started. It wasn't like at the end of the year, we got an opportunity at an Aaron Rodgers type quarterback. Jimmy, would you be willing to? No, that was at the beginning of the season.
Right.
Before the season even started, contract got changed from your 60 M's to whatever it was. I don't know the exact number.
Well, like I said, you see that happen all the time. I mean, CT knows Brady did that all the time to keep pieces and bring like he did that
to keep Super Bowl teams together. Garoppolo doesn't have that incentive.
But that's fine. But the whole point is, if you want to win, you'll take less money to try to keep some guys or bring some guys in. That's just whether it works out or not. It's a different story. To your point,
no, that's agreed. But you need those guys before the season starts. Otherwise, you just wasted my cash. You just had me give back some of my money for somebody that you expect to just fall in line and be a productive piece on the team.
Once again, that goes back on them. If you made him take less money and y'all trying to save a couple dollar bills and y'all ain't doing nothing with church's money.
I think it's because during training camp, the belief was lost. We started losing belief in the man.
Well, wouldn't that make you want to go out after you restructure this deal and try to do something else?
Well, you can't at that. You've already made the move. You've already made the move, Malk. That's like you being out at the club and talking to a girl who's with two other girls and being like, hey, you want to come home with me? And getting to the door and then being like, hold up, you're not the right one. Let me go back. Hey, I made a mistake. Can I go? It doesn't work that way. You made your choice.
Jerry Jones said it does, Cliff.
Jerry Jones had the same bum quarterback for years now.
But who did he bring in? When we
he brought in Trey Lance.
We least expected it.
He brought in Trey Lance, but that doesn't say anything either, because there's a good chance that Trey Lance doesn't end up being anything but a backup in Dallas.
But that's fine. The whole point is, if you really want something, you'll go out and go get it. There's no time. There's no ETA on it. You'll just make it happen. And that's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That's one thing I will give Jerry Jones' dumb ass. He'll spend that money. He'll spend that bread. He will go out and go get if he really wants it, he's going to go get it.
You know, but I mean, he's also in a position to be able to. There's a lot of teams that aren't in positions to be able to do that. There's a lot that comes with Dallas, with even being a player on Dallas, the marketing, everything that comes with being a Dallas Cowboy. And even before then, before Tom Brady came around with the Patriots, that was the nation's team. That means you collect all the revenue. I collect all the revenue, which means I have more money to play with. There's a lot of teams out there that don't have that money to play with.
That's true.
So you can't take your bitch back to the club and try to trade her in.
But y'all in Vegas now, no, Cliff. Vegas got that money.
No, Vegas, the city itself has that money. Vegas, the organization, they don't yet. They don't yet.
But that has to be one of the reasons why they moved, though, is because of, the landscape. You know, it's
No,
like
I'm sure of that, but that's what I'm saying. You've been here 2 years now.
Right.
You think you've made it? You think you've gotten enough off of Las Vegas to say that I am now on a Jerry Jones money level where I can just pay a quarterback $60 million and go around and say I made a mistake, give me another quarterback for $60 million? Nah, they're not there yet.
They ain't.
But let me keep it a buck. Even with me being a Raiders fan, they don't deserve this much publicity, even on this here podcast. All I'm saying,
1-1, not too bad.
No, they're not too bad at all. They're not at the moment. They're not. But even that first win that they got took a fourth quarter last minute drive to get the lead. All I'm saying is I didn't expect them to be blowing anybody out of the water. But I also expected a veteran quarterback to be a veteran quarterback.
It's better than being 0-2.
I mean, a lot of these veterans, Cliff, is washed out. We talked. You and I talked about the DeAndre Hopkins and the Michael Thomases. Like these dudes is burnt out. These is veteran players.
But those are also wide receivers. We're talking about a quarterback position that gets babied. You can't even hit them motherfuckers anymore. Why do you think you have quarterbacks that are adamantly trying to play into their 40s? You can't do that at a wide receiver spot. Outside of Terrell Owens, and even he had to go to the Arena League in the CFL. You can't do that in the league at a skill position like a running back or a wide receiver. That doesn't work. But as a quarterback, where the ref won't even let you take a shot to the ankle like Dak Prescott in the last game, oh yeah, you can play well into your 40s.
Well, let's be honest. They're not letting everybody play quarterback to 40.
You have to prove yourself throughout. But they're going to be but think about now. Think about nowadays. There are going to be a lot of players that are able to, if they choose to. Patty Mahomes will be one that they will let play into his 40s. Joe Burrow will be one that they will let play into their 40s. It's up to them to last that long. Josh Allen won't. He won't last that long.
I don't think some of those players though will last that long, because you got to think.
But that's the question of lasting that long, and the reason. Think about it. The reason why those players that I named won't last that long are because those players will leave the pocket.
Well, Patty leaves the pocket too.
I said those players will leave the pocket. Tom Brady would not. Tom Brady would not. I'm not.
Rodgers leaves the pocket.
He won't force me out of this pocket. And that's why he didn't get his 40 season.
Well, that was turf. I think that
was this injury. That was this injury. But that's not to say that you didn't get wear and tear on your body from leaving the pocket years prior.
True.
Brady never, like, you got to go through highlights to find some Brady scrambles.
True.
He didn't do it. He didn't put himself in position like that.
Well, in all fairness, though, I mean,
he knew he had protection from his line and the refs. Why would I leave the pocket?
Well, yeah, he never had to. That's the thing. He never had to.
But I say
Brady's
that to say,
exception.
If you prove yourself like a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers, you can trust and believe. As long as you're providing some sort of income to the league, we'll let you play until you're 50. If you can make it, if you can come out here and strap up and you're making us bread, we'll allow you to play until you're 50.
They was calling Tom Brady to play this year.
That's what I'm saying. They're still I was one of them that was like, Tom might as well come back to the Raiders. He already a part owner.
It
wasn't official yet. I don't think that's why the Jets was trying to call him.
He's a smart man. He ain't about to. Nah, that would.
He's 1-1 though. That's the only person I feel like that's ever gonna be like that.
He is 1-1. That's why I said you really can't mention Tom's name.
Yeah,
but
they not really calling nobody.
Basketball, nobody is 1-1.
Huh?
Why
nobody is 1-1. You may be you at that time, but there will always be somebody to trump you down the line.
But we probably won't see it.
We won't see
what
it.
You talking about? They already talking about Patrick Mahomes is on pace to trump.
They're
Brady.
Talking about, but that don't mean it's gonna happen.
But that is factually true as well.
But Cliff,
it's not about what they're talking. That is true as well.
But Cliff, if that's the case, Cliff, I mean, You know what I mean? Like,
But no, I'm saying, listen, the whole point of me saying that was Brady was the one of one. But if in our generation, if before Brady even retired, we have another guy who is statistically on pace to breaking the great TB12's record, what do you think we're going to see 20 years from now?
No,
nobody is one of one. Now, LeBron may be one of one as in himself, but I can guarantee you some decades down the line, even his stats will be broken. That's what they're put there for, to be broken.
I got you, CT. Let's rephrase it. Tom Brady and LeBron are one of one of this generation, period. I understand what you're saying, but that time frame you're talking about, Cliff, will be a different generation. That'll be our grandkids or our great grandkids or so on. That'll see.
Yeah, they set the bar so high.
Not gonna be us.
So what happens? So what happens with Patty? Does he break away from Andy Reid? Is it injury? Is it what is it? What would stop Patty from breaking that?
Injury.
So it would have to be, I would imagine.
Not even just
lack of talent.
Cliff, really watch a Chiefs game lately. They're not the same.
Let's say lack of talent.
And I know Travis Kelce's coming back, and I know Patty's still Patty, but they're clearly not the same. Skylar Moore, Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I'm not saying they're trash. Nobody.
You said that last year too with Juju and them.
But Juju is a number.
Ended up winning the Super Bowl.
None of them. Aside from Juju, none of them guys are number one wide receiver. CT, who's y'all's number one wide receiver? Juju probably.
Motherfuckers was saying Juju wasn't the number one wide receiver.
No, that's crazy. That's just opinion. Like you say, when it comes to facts, the facts is this. Since AB left Pittsburgh, Juju's been the number one wide receiver on every team.
I agree, because he had to be.
Okay, so outside of that,
he's not the number one on the Patriots.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. Devontae Parker is.
He's not better than
Man, stop.
He might be their number one, but he's not better than Juju.
And even let's keep it a buck. Even on the Chiefs, he didn't break 1,000 yards.
But he did enough in the.
No, he didn't break 1,000 yards. There was no wide receiver. You know who the wide receiver one is on the Chiefs? Travis Kelce. Right. And there was no other wide receiver one.
What did we just talk about?
Mecole Hardman was a threat, though.
Right. And hold
on, Cliff. But all the passes were even. They were spread out. It wasn't like you looked at one receiver and was like, oh, that's the guy.
Cliff, how long do you think Patrick Mahomes has a Travis Kelce? We just talked about this offline. No, we don't, CT. That's impossible. How long did Gronkowski last? How long did Gronkowski last?
He ended with Tom Brady.
Hold on. Wasn't he the Kelce?
Tom Brady, didn't he?
Wasn't he the Kelce? But wasn't he the Kelce before Kelce?
Definitely was the Kelce before.
Still the
Kelce.
So the whole point is eventually these guys got to go. Him and Brady left at the same time. I get that, but Patty's younger than Kelce.
But it's no different. It's no different than the NBA, where a team finds what their focal point is, the thing that makes them rock, and they look for that before. So I guarantee you, probably this coming draft, you'll see them go for a big name tight end to try to have Travis mold into the next Travis. So that doesn't matter. Just because you have Travis Kelce now does not mean, we just talked about, nobody's one of one, that there isn't a better tight end that comes out that Patty can't use. Talent is talent at the end of the day. They said that they wouldn't get it done when they traded Tyreek Hill to Miami, and they got the Super Bowl that year.
They did.
And motherfuckers was like, you got a Super Bowl with Juju Smith-Schuster in them? So if they can do it with Juju in them, and people were saying the very same thing that we're saying now about Valdes-Scantling and Sky Moore, then it's only a matter of time for they catch their rhythm somewhat, right? I doubt that they're not in a position to be in the Super Bowl this year. They will make the playoffs.
And just to be clear, they got the win, but it wasn't a clean game.
No, but a lot of teams haven't gotten clean wins.
So, I mean, I don't.
The Eagles is 2-0, and they had 2 rough wins.
But that's different, Cliff. We're talking about their fault. They didn't play well. They played like shit and got 2 rough wins. No. In the Super Bowl, there were some calls that weren't called.
Well, I'm not talking about the Super Bowl specifically. I'm just talking about in general.
That's what I'm talking about.
Are you saying they had some rough wins in the Super Bowl?
No, I'm saying that the Chiefs beat my team respectively. But as far as fairly goes, I'm not even going to put that all on the Chiefs. But the refs, there's a couple calls last year the refs didn't call. there's a couple questionable calls that was game changing. Just to keep it a buck.
Not only is that every game, that's every Super Bowl.
That's
So my
how
whole
y'all got a couple calls against us when y'all beat us, and we still good. So hey,
That's not the Super Bowl though, CT. And no offense.
I'm talking about when y'all beat us in the Super Bowl.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It happens. That shit happens.
I took it back a little bit. It happened.
yeah. No, I don't have a clear recollection of that Super Bowl besides.
And y'all beat us by 3.
I mean, Tom Brady beat himself that game by dropping that pass, trying to do what Nick Foles did. That's
No, see, I'm talking about a couple flags before that.
But yeah, I mean, Patty's going to be a dog regardless. Do I see it happening forever? No, because like you just keep saying, somebody's going to come in on that.
I'm just saying, could it be a possibility where Tom Brady isn't actually the great? Could it be?
There will be one day.
Wait,
yes.
no, I'm saying this. Could it be a possibility where we mistook him for the great of the generation when there could have been someone better right behind? Because you don't usually see that happen like that. Think of another era in sports. Think of another sport in general. Think of a Michael Jordan. Who came in the league with Michael Jordan that was on pace to beating Michael? It didn't happen. That doesn't happen.
I'll tell you what, Cliff. My mom's dad, my grandfather, was born in 1935. He's 89 years old. We talk football at least once a week. This is his words. It's his opinion. Now, you know this man's clearly watched a lot of football in 1935.
Right.
He said Tom Brady is the best quarterback that I've ever seen. He said the only person that, to me, he said comes close that was nice.
Joe Montana.
Right. That's crazy, CT. That's what he said. He said, all the football I've watched in my time, he said, I've seen, and he has seen some motherfuckers clearly.
Right.
And again, it's just his opinion, you know, but
a generation isn't 10, 20 years. It's not. When you talk about a generational talent, that's within the generation, the 100-year mark. So is there a possibility that guy popped up early, but there's another guy coming after that could break what he... All I'm saying is you never in any other history of any other sport see someone come so close immediately after if this was the guy. If Brady was the guy, then why is Patty so close to surpassing you and he's only been in the league 6-7 years?
Well, he's not.
I don't say
he's not close to surpassing him. But he only has 2.
Well, I'm talking. Well, no, he has 3.
Hold on.
2.
He has 3. He got one with Alex Smith when he didn't start.
He got 2. You got 2.
Didn't he get one with Alex Smith as a bench player?
Patty Mahomes has won.
Alex Smith don't got no ring.
I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. Patty Mahomes is 2-1, and he's been there 3 times, and he's 2-1. You're not on pace to pass.
I thought
Brady.
he won one before he.
No.
Alex Smith don't got no ring.
This is per Google. He is 2-1 in the Super Bowl.
So who did
lost
they
to Tom
lose
Brady?
To? Oh, that's what I must be thinking then.
All right. So, bruh, and I can't say you're on pace to beat the GOAT when last time you and the GOAT played, he beat you. And you, I mean, I respect your 2 rings, but Tom got, was it 7? 7 rings, right?
7.
Got more than, Tom Brady has more rings than the Steelers franchise, who are tied for the most rings. That's
a lot of franchises.
A lot of franchises, Cliff.
No, I agree with that 100, but
I'm not giving Patty that. I love as much as I love that.
But that's also a situation where I ask myself, how much do the rings matter? Because I honestly think statistically, Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback than Tom Brady.
I mean,
statistically, stats, not rings, stats. Statistically.
Okay.
Do you want to look up those career stats?
Yes, look at Tom Brady's stats. He's up there.
When you look up the stats, Cliff, you also have to bring up the important stat that the most important one, he hasn't been to the big game since 2011. 2011. Tom Brady would have never. It's clearly never.
Well, no,
happened.
there is no that would never.
Tom Brady went to that division and won.
Is motherfucker right with Belichick? But that's what's so
Tom
wild.
Brady went to the Bucks and won.
Put Tom Brady on the squad by himself.
Cliff, do you forget some of the coaches that Aaron Rodgers had before Mike McCarthy?
What does that have to do?
What does that
have to do with anything? I get so sick of us talking about the coaches. What talent did he have on the field? Name me that.
the coaching
Name
matters.
me the talent that they had on the
What
field.
do you have?
Ahmad Green and a couple. What you mean, Greg Jordan Jennings? What you mean he had a slew?
Yeah, back you going back to the Super Bowl.
So what year are we talking about then?
In general, like you said, how long has it been since they got the Super Bowl? 2010? 13 years? So since then, Devontae Adams, who else? Who else?
What do you mean? He's even had
Cobb,
defense.
Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams, who else?
Jeremy, no, he had Nelson.
Damn. That's crazy.
Jordan Nelson.
But and then let's do the same for Brady, and you can say Randy Moss. You can say Wes Welker. You can say a whole bunch of different people.
Randy Moss is the biggest player. He truly played with everybody else they brought up in the system. They were not premier guys coming to that team. None of them.
Ocho Cinco.
Oh,
wow. He didn't even play.
But he was a premier wide receiver, right?
It doesn't matter. He didn't get to play with him. Not even AB. He didn't play with AB in New England. Those guys got in trouble and were gone. They brought them in and got shipped out right away.
He did go out right away.
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. The only premier wide receiver he's ever had was Randy Moss. You can make an argument for you remember CT, your boy Deion Branch. Loved him.
Oh, Deion Branch was the second best for sure.
Loved him. But the other guys, them other boys, he had Amendola. Who the fuck was Amendola until Tom Brady made him something?
He was a college quarterback.
Right. Aaron Rodgers has had a slew of weapons on offense throughout
Donald Driver.
So it say career stats. Tom Brady had 89,214
Jimmy
yards.
Graham? Did he have Jimmy Graham?
649 touchdowns, 212 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. God damn it.
Tom Brady broke all them records, man.
All right, him and Randy Moss had that one year where they broke touchdown passing and receiving.
2007? Yeah, that year was nuts.
I know Cliff's going to say, well, they lost the Super Bowl. You're right. But they still put up, you said numbers, they still put up them numbers.
Still had records, yeah.
Had records. So what, we going to say Aaron Rodgers is better than Peyton Manning next too? Because I put Manning and Tom. They was always neck to neck.
I can't even find.
Yeah, Rodgers ain't even fucking with Manning, so yeah, he can't be on Tom level.
Right,
that's showing me like that because it's not the end of his career. Is that what that is? It's showing me.
The point being, Cliff, Cliff, it depends on your taste. It's just like a bitch. You want a bitch with boobs or a fat ass? You want the boobs, you want the stats, that's great. I want the ass though. I want the rings. I want what matters, what counts.
Yeah, but at the same time, I can't say that it doesn't come with something. It's so if you're gonna use that analogy, then it's like this: you can pick the bitch with boobs or a fat ass, but which one's mother was there that made sure their head was on straight? That's what Belichick was. He was the guy that made sure Brady's head was on straight. Without that, you got a wild bitch.
So do you think Aaron Rodgers had some shitty coaches? Is that what I'm getting from you? Matt LaFleur is not a dog? You see what him and Jordan Love?
It's the organization, just like you said with the Raiders. It's the organization as a whole.
No, that's not a... No,
it is. It is. It very much so is. And whether it be because Aaron Rodgers wasn't willing to accept less or whatever the case may be, there was a clear understanding in New England that we get the pieces that we need.
But Cliff,
they knew what they needed. The organization itself knew the pieces that they needed. Now, in Green Bay, on the other hand, you had players that were saying, listen, we need this. We need this. That's clear signs of an organization who does not know what it is they need, because a player should never have to tell me what I, as the guy who runs the team, needs. There's so many instances in this organization where they just throw somebody out there and say, here, get a win for us. That happened with, we just talked about it this episode with Zach Wilson and Kenny Pickett. There are so many situations like that. And then there are situations like Brock Purdy, where you get lucky to get into the league with a team who has a great organization and a head coach in Shanahan who has their shit together. That comes down to a situation. And that situation could change the perspective of your career moving forward.
And luck, though. if they never got hurt or nothing, he probably would have never got that opportunity. So
I mean, I'd say that as well, but that's what I'm getting at. Is it took Brock Purdy being Mr. Irrelevant to get to an organization that had their shit together. Didn't we just say Tom Brady was in the same boat as Brock Purdy? Right.
Yeah,
So you got to an organization that had their shit together. But if you were the number 1 pick, like Trevor Lawrence, and you had to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars, do you still have those same stats? Do you still have those same rings?
I mean,
that's the question. That's the real question. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers beat Brady and all this. No, it's a situational thing where if you're a higher quarterback, you go to the shittier team, which means you have a harder time trying to build up to where that quarterback was.
That's like saying, all right, that's like saying you got somebody that don't come from nothing. You got somebody that come from money. When you become an adult, y'all both got equal opportunity to an extent in the same decisions to either become.
No, but it's not the same, because that would be like somebody being a child who had the connections, the assistance. There's one that has to go about being adult and making everything themselves, and then there's one who it's who you know. It's not what you know. We say that all the time.
But to your point, Cliff, and I, of course, ain't going to say no names. I know a lot of people that know a lot more people than me.
Right. That's going to happen because you have people that fuck up the moment, people who don't appreciate the moment, things like that. But there's a lot of people that do appreciate the moment that just don't have the opportunity.
But Cliff, the rumors we heard in Green Bay was that he couldn't get along with his head coach and management. That Aaron Rodgers wasn't appreciating the moment.
But what's that mean? We didn't hear Brady having an issue with Belichick? That shit happens too.
Oh, but that's different though. Tom Brady said it. He said, for 20 years, I shut up and listened and played. He said, I didn't disrespect that. He said that when he went to Tampa. He said, I was like, it's like a drill sergeant. I fell in line. He only started talking back, so to speak, when they were trying to, rightfully so, when they're trying to put him on the shelf for Garoppolo. But he was a good boy that whole time. That's why
he was having issues before then, which is why they wanted to put him on the shelf for Garoppolo.
What was he having before then? What were the issues?
There were. What do you mean? Ever since that whole Deflategate, that's all you heard was Belichick and Brady having issues. Brady even threw them under the bus, talking about I don't deal with the balls. They said you didn't throw them. That's on them. That's on the coaching staff and all them to inflate my balls.
That was in 2013.
But exactly, which is why I'm saying that was far enough back.
You know what they say? You know what they say though, Cliff? When you win and you prove yourself and you bringing in the money, you get a little bit more leisure. You get a little bit more leeway. Brady earned that leeway, bro. That leash could be loose for Brady. You know what I mean? So even
but see, the issue as to why they left, though, why they broke up, is because exactly what you said. Brady says, I earned that leisure. And right. Belichick is feeling the same way. You hear what I'm saying? Right. Both of y'all earned that. It wasn't one or the other of you. So I'm upset as the coach because you're trying to put it all on you. Like, I'm not the guy out here calling plays, making sure that offenses don't drive on my defense. I'm that guy. You needed me to be you. But everybody forgets and says Brady's the best of all time. Not to mention that you got the best coach that's ever coached here and the best defensive mind on top of that. Not to mention none of that.
He didn't start winning until Brady came in the picture, though. So
yeah, that's true, though. He didn't. You look at his record before Brady.
He didn't start winning like that, but he was getting dubs with Drew Bledsoe. They were getting to the playoffs.
I mean, he got fired
when he was with the Browns and the New York Giants.
So Bill Belichick was kind of a scrub, low key, until New England, to be honest.
Until he got them winning with Brady.
So you get into a situation where you can succeed.
But that's just a match made in heaven. You had a coach that was willing to do this and a quarterback. They
right. But we can't talk about one without the other. So when everybody talk all that shit. It's
And Brady
like, well,
never
damn.
got greedy about the money. Brady could have been the highest paid player in the league.
Right. But
several
he
times.
did that because you already achieved the goal. So if I got the ring, I'm going to fight to keep this team together. I'll take less to keep this team together.
But the team has been shaked up so many times.
But I will not do that if we weren't even close to the goal in the first place. Why would I take less?
Shaken up so many
Why
times.
would I take less for you, the bad decision maker, for you to not get me the pieces I need to succeed? You don't see a quarterback do that. You see a quarterback willing to take less, like Patty Mahomes, when his team wins. When the team wins the Super Bowl is when I'm willing to compromise. But I will not compromise on my cash until then.
But you know what the difference is between them three quarterbacks, Cliff? Is Patty and Tom, you could say they were with better coaches and situations, but they also had to fall in line and listen, and they had to play the game and they had to learn.
No, definitely.
Aaron Rodgers has an ego about him. Everybody knows that.
I agree. I agree with that as well. But you're not going to find a quarterback that doesn't.
Jalen Hurts
maybe Kirk Cousins.
Jalen Hurts does not have an ego about him.
Maybe Kirk Cousins.
That nigga is a leader, and that nigga talks calm and like he gets loud, like as far as motive, but he's not like a.
But that's not that. Just doing all that shit doesn't always equate to ego. Ego has a lot of things to do with it. It's not just the way that you talk about something.
You're right, but once again, Aaron Rodgers' presence, what he would give off, his communication.
No, I agree with you there.
Is the average quarterback. Mac Jones isn't going into New England.
I agree with you there, but I will also argue how long before that changed. It's like a bitter girlfriend. You come into the situation excited and happy, and usually after a while, when you start to see things aren't working your way, you start to get antsy. Nobody comes in the league outside of Johnny Manziel like, give it all to me now. I'm that guy, give it all to me now. Because they don't last. Look at Jamarcus Russell. He thought he was so good he didn't have to read a playbook. Didn't even play a season.
Well, his was the weight issue.
No, it was more than that. It goes into the ego. That's another ego trait. I don't need to study. I'm already good. I don't need to know your playbook. I don't need to watch your film.
It don't help when you come in 300 pounds and you admit after it's all said and done that you were doing lean, though. That's also a big factor.
That's a factor as well, correct. But what do both of those people have in common? Johnny Manziel and Jamarcus Russell.
Johnny Manziel ain't doing too bad.
Both admitted to never watching playbook, never watching film. Right. That's an ego thing. That's you thinking you're good enough that you can make something happen without doing the work to do so. All I'm saying is even Aaron Rodgers, ego or not, he doesn't become the quarterback he is today without doing his due diligence to be that.
Right. I mean, you could say the same thing about Kyler Murray, but what they keep saying about him is very similar to Aaron Rodgers. You got an ego about you, bro. You rubbing people the wrong way, G. Your communication style must be off.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess the difference would be
I'm not willing to go to a bat for a motherfucker that I don't get along with, period. I don't care how much money you make, how great you are. If we don't get along, I'm not willing to go to bat for you.
Unless you're winning.
No. Yeah, okay, if we're winning.
It's a lot of people that look at Richard Sherman and talking about Russell Wilson. It's a lot of people that deal with the people that they don't like if you're winning.
Right.
But if you're not winning, now I have an issue. I can show up to work for a job that I can't fucking stand as long as those checks keep coming.
Right.
But the moment you have me working and I feel like I'm not getting paid, we have a fucking problem. We have a problem.
I mean,
that's no different with the NFL. The only difference is, yes, you're going to get paid. May not be what you expect, but you expect to win because winning incentivizes your paycheck. I get more money the more we win. So no, I'm not willing to deal with somebody that I don't like if we're not winning because you're fucking up my money.
Right. And that's what they was telling Rodgers. We talked about him in the management.
But that wasn't until he realized that the situation, oh, you have me working for free. Oh, I'm showing up to work and you're not paying me in wins, meaning you're not getting me the pieces I need to win.
But you can't have your cake and eat it all. See, Lamar got lucky when they brought in Odell and happened to draft Zay Flowers, but you can say the same thing about him. He wanted to get paid, but what we say about him getting paid? He wasn't going to have enough money to bring in weapons. So you can't say I want to get paid, but I want
see that has nothing to do with Lamar though, because if Baltimore would have paid him when he deserved to be paid, they would have had money to be able to get weapons down the line. That wasn't Lamar's fault. That wasn't an ego thing. That was me needing the money that I need for what you have me doing.
And also, Cliff, you got to think about markets, like you said. I mean, Green Bay is a pretty big market because they got a big fan base. I would imagine that they're somewhat of a big market because they have one of the best.
Yeah, they do have a big fan base.
But, I mean, I see what you're saying, but, again, he wanted his money. He got his money, but then he got mad he didn't get enough pieces, allegedly. That shit takes time.
No, that is correct. That is correct because we had that conversation, and I think the only thing that I said at that point that I agreed with about the situation is, of course I'm going to take the money if you're not going to do anything to get me what I need. If you're not going to help me win, why would I not take the money? Why would I let you slide with paying me less if you're not going to do the due diligence to get me the pieces to win? No, I want all the money. Matter of fact, you owe me more. This is looking like.
But if I accept that bread, then I gotta just ball.
Because I know that's where the bitter girlfriend comes into play. Because I already know your ways. I already know your traits. You're not gonna help me. Why do you think Devontae and Aaron are both gone now?
Well, Devontae left because
the same reason.
Well, he probably didn't know how many. I think he even said it. He didn't know how long Aaron was going to play.
And it was the same reason. It was the same reason because they were both in the same boat asking for assistance. Devontae knew Green Bay was not going to do anything to get them that assistance. So he started talking to his best friend and said, "Oh, y'all got room for me in Vegas? I'm on the way." Next season, listen, Rodgers after that season had time for them to turn around and change and be like, let's get Rodgers at least some help so he stays. And you thought Lazard was your QB1. So Rodgers is now gone. That says more about the organization to me than it does anytime those two players individually. And Rodgers is even better than Devontae because he stayed there much longer and dealt with it. Devontae got franchise tagged. So you're already not paying enough people to get pieces, but the pieces you do have, you don't want to pay on top of that. That says a lot about your organization.
Well, to your point, they probably don't want to give a big contract out to a wide receiver, which I understand because Devontae's my age.
And then he gets it elsewhere.
Right. And then that's fine, but it's just like you got to hope that shelf life pay off. You know what I mean?
But see, now, think about it now. Now you're in a position where who do you have? You have Jordan Love, which I do like and I have liked for a while now.
Right.
But you're in a situation where you're hoping that the next generation, the younger generation of wide receivers step up and somebody becomes something as opposed to making sure I have somebody on the field that can get the ball down there. That's the organization's decision. Rather than pay for our wins, we'll just hope we eventually develop into some.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that sometimes, because like you said, there's a lot of good wide receivers.
No, there's not sometimes. Not sometimes. But again, that is a market. You got to think about Green Bay from an aspect of long when Brett Favre was playing, Vince Lombardi. They're a winning organization. What are you doing now that's stopping you from winning? Well, it goes back to Vegas. You don't make the best decisions. Now, Vegas is giving out money to people that don't deserve it, and you're keeping money from people that deserve it. But either way, you're making bad decisions, and it doesn't equal wins.
I mean, you can't say that, though, Cliff, right? Because I'm looking at the records. So Matt LaFleur came in 2019, right? He was 13-3 in 2019. 2020, he was 13-3. 2021, it was 13-4. 2022, of course, bad year, 8-9. But in that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons so far, you had 4 winning seasons, 4 high winning seasons, 1 bad year. 1 bad year when you think about it.
Yeah. But in a way, I feel like
13-3. 13. You did it 3 seasons. Aaron Rodgers and that team did it 3 years in a row, which means they definitely went to the. So it even tells you they lost conference, lost divisional.
But see, that as a quarterback is where my ego comes in, right? That's where my ego comes in, because years I've been telling you I need more. I can get it done with what you have, but I need more.
No, I'm not trying to compare any means Kirk Cousins to Aaron Rodgers, but
there was a lot. I'm just saying there was a lot of times where Aaron Rodgers was the Lamar Jackson, where if he wasn't out on the field, ball did not move.
Well, right.
You could put whoever you want at the backup quarterback spot. Ball won't move unless Aaron... And that goes to show you something, right? Because we look at Zach Wilson and we can say, well, their defense is good. At least he's keeping them in the games. You don't even have a backup that can move the ball if you're starting quarterback in there. So don't you think it's time to listen to him a bit? Get his idea what he may be feeling like he needs to get y'all over the hump? But instead, you threw away those 3 in a row winning seasons to give up all your best assets. I just don't see a world where that makes sense.
I just feel like if you're good enough to win all them games and make it to the playoffs like you did in those years, you know what I mean? If you don't win, that's on you and your squad.
But that's what I'm saying. That's on me now. You hear what I'm saying? Like me, that's where my ego comes in. You're saying that's on me. That's on me. But I've been asking you as a whole to assist me. So at some point, I don't want to be the guy that gets the blame.
But
I'll take my talents. Fuck their beach. They don't even have a beach, old dirty ass New York River.
Does he want? Because look who followed him to New York. Allen Lazard. What's his name? Randall Cobb.
That says a lot as well.
So my whole point is,
we jumping ship. Fuck y'all. We out of here. Whole squad gone with the best. So clearly, if we were using the argument that he doesn't communicate well with his team members, that's not the case. He took half the Green Bay Packers with him when he went to New York. Why would they leave to go with a guy that doesn't feel like they communicate the best and I don't like? Doesn't work that way.
Well, he took 2%. Right?
Regardless, you took the best wide receivers they had.
Well, no, C.J. Watson's a dog.
No, Watson was, but that was also his second year. No, it was his first year last year. That was his rookie year last year. But what did I say? You're expecting the younger talent to develop as opposed to making sure you have the pieces you need to succeed.
But who would you rather have right now, Zay Flowers or one of these vets we keep talking about ain't making shit happen at wide receiver?
Well, it depends. That's that question. That's an open-ended question. Because it depends. Which one are we talking about?
Well, I'm being specific. I said one of the washed-up vets. Once again, the DeAndre Hopkins right now. Because to your point, you want someone established. These guys are considered established. That's why they keep getting picked up. That's why they keep finding homes, because they're established, to your point, right? Doesn't mean they're coming in and doing shit, though, clearly. But you got these young niggas, Zay Flowers, what you be saying all the time, Chris Olave. I know he's like their second year now. The whole point is you got the young bucks, Garrett Wilsons, who you keep raving about, which I understand. Got the young bucks coming here taking over, though.
Right, but no, there's a difference. There's a difference though between getting a high pick wide receiver that you expect to be a next superstar talent.
Zay wasn't high. I think Zay might have been last pick of the first round or something like that.
But that's what I'm saying. If you go in the first round in general, you're expected to be some sort of talent.
But what about the ones that didn't go in the first round and came out dogs? Cooper Kupp and
that's most of the league. That's most of the league.
So they had to get developed. But DeAndre, Michael Thomas, and all them your boys, they came out high in the first round, from what I remember.
Right.
Like they as the expected dogs. But I'm saying, like,
that's what I'm getting at, is there's a difference between getting a dog, like getting a dog wide receiver, whether it be first round, maybe even early second round, and expecting them to be productive, than just getting wide receivers and hoping that they develop into a guy that can get you something. Those are two different things. Because the Garrett Wilson is expected to come out of the league immediately and be an impact, as he was last year. But ask yourself where Christian Watson was. Where was he at? He wasn't nowhere near ranked rookie.
But
Nowhere.
Right, they had to take a shot. Had to
But
roll
what
back.
what I'm saying is there's a difference between getting a lower ranked receiver like that and hoping that they develop into someone that you can use on your team, as opposed to getting a Jackson Smith and Jigba out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the guy. He is going to be something.
But when you finish,
Hold on, you said Christian wasn't close to him last year?
You said what?
You said Christian wasn't close to Garrett last year?
No.
I think he was.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up.
Look it up.
Let me look it up.
Fantasy football last year, no cap. I do remember that.
I had him on my team.
Right.
He had a streak of like touch. He was going crazy at one point.
I don't know the
only rookie to do something. He did something last year.
But he was going crazy.
So
yeah, he was.
Last year, Wilson had 83 receptions, 1,100 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Got to debate that one. Is my mind right?
Oh, Christian
Watson had 41 receptions, 611 yards. He did have 7 touchdowns, but that's not a comparison. You just got some close touchdowns, but you weren't. Those stats don't compare.
He put up fantasy points last year. He ranked.
He put up enough. I had him on my squad. He put up enough, but he wasn't anybody that I was. He was one of the guys that I was subbing in and out each week.
All right, but it
all
also
I'm saying is the guy Garrett Wilson doubled your stats, other than touchdowns. But that's also because last year you had Aaron Rodgers throwing you the ball as opposed to Zach Wilson. 2 very different things.
True.
So those are 2 different things now. Now, if he shows out this year with a Jordan Love, not a Aaron Rodgers, I say he may be on his way. Green Bay may have been on to something developing him.
Mm-hmm.
But I still wouldn't consider him, like if I'm Aaron Rodgers and you draft me Christian Watson, I'm not saying, oh, thank you. You got me no, you didn't get me what I needed.
Right.
That's not what I needed. You're trying to draft a youngin' to be him. I need him.
Right.
We already have him in Devontae Adams. And he's saying we need another him. He's getting double and triple teamed. Where's the other him at?
Maybe there wasn't another him on the market. I don't think there was at the time. Not another Devontae.
But that's the thing with the wide receiver, like we said, like you're not always going to be a first-round wide receiver. You can be a 3rd, 4th round and end up being a top of the league wide receiver. There are a lot of other hims out there that people aren't looking at because you want the name. Oh, we couldn't get the name? Forget it. We'll try again next year. But what about him, though? Those go down to organizational decisions. And I just can't blame the players for that, because it is a lot of organizations, mine included, that make bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it a buck. That Jets decision wasn't the best.
Which one?
You don't pass up the opportunity at an Aaron Rodgers, but that wasn't the best decision. Was that the best decision for your organization? A 40-year-old QB?
I could have sworn you was preaching before.
No, I said right. No, I said if he's good, he's taking him there.
Right.
But if he's good, he's taking him there maybe once.
Right.
The
right.
40 and we don't have an offensive line.
Can't say that because there's the Brady effect. CT no. They seen what the 45-year-old man did in Tampa. They figured they had like a similar, not team, but like in a sense with pieces, right? Here's our shot in the dark.
They protected their investment though by bulking up on the offensive line.
But I've been telling you, I said, Cliff, I don't care that they brought your boy to the Jets. They don't have an offensive line. Like you said, they had Alex Kappa and a couple of them dogs in Tampa.
Right.
Brady probably even said it like, nigga, I want to come here, but that offensive line is going to have to be straight.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of the reason why he hasn't come back is because he knows I'm old. You better protect me, and y'all don't look like y'all are protecting, so I won't do it.
Right, I'm not. So,
Brady
yeah.
has never been one to take a hit ever.
Well, remember,
Yeah, he has.
Brady's never been one to take a hit.
Towards ACL.
Remember the year he was out for the season from the Chiefs?
That was a hit. That was a hit that took place. But as far as willing
all the
to
games
take
he's
a
played,
hit, no, there's no way you can sway. Willing to take a hit?
Him initiating.
When they called that tuck rule, he took a hit that game.
Right, and that's another thing, like I said, you're being protected by your offensive line and the referees. When I know that I have somebody in my back pocket that's willing to throw a call, if this means the win, yeah, I'll take this hit. I'm gonna get a penalty for this just because it's a hit on me. That never happened before Tom Brady, which is why I'll never say he's my GOAT, because I'll never give a GOAT that needed the assistance of the refs and the organization
Did
to
not
be a
need
GOAT.
no assistance. That one play does not define his whole career. You crazy?
No,
as
that
hell.
one play doesn't. But then you also had a situation, like we said, with Deflategate. Then you also had another situation with what was it? Right after that, immediately after that, there was the New England coaching staff got caught. What was it at the Dallas Cowboys? Yeah, at the Dallas Cowboys facility watching their games.
That was lame.
But what I'm
when
saying,
you win it, they just try to find ways like.
No. If you're there, you're there. We didn't invite you here. The fuck you're here? What are you here for?
There's
we
a
didn't
scout
invite
at
you
all
here?
the games. What you mean?
What I'm getting at is there were out of all these situations that took place, there was no suspensions. Brady didn't get suspended. Brady didn't have any issues. Deflategate, what? He got 2 games?
4 games.
It was like 2 games.
It was 4.
He was out a couple games, Cliff.
I think that was 2 games. Look that up.
All right.
Look up that Deflategate shit.
We lost some brown picks. We lost some money. We lost.
I know y'all lost money.
Some draft picks.
So Brady was suspended for 4 games on May 11th.
It was 4.
Come on.
I know you the Pats fan. I just did not remember him being out 4 games.
I knew them 4 games.
It wasn't. That's what I said. It was a few. I do remember that.
I thought it was 2 games.
I think y'all started off rough naturally. Or is that
it
when
was
y'all
supposed to be like the whole season, but he fought it, and then it was like 4 games.
That's the shit that I'm getting at, right? You got pulled. You're in the boys club.
But after they realized that was a lame thing to do, like, come on, man.
What?
This nigga,
lame thing to do? Do you know the advantage that you have of playing with the flattened football?
That y'all try to say we using a flat football.
What do you mean try? The other team was like, check their ball. That was what made them check the ball. The other team getting that fumble recovery, whatever it was.
We was picking off Andrew Luck and everything. Man. Taking him to the crib.
Guilty when the nigga smashed his phone, because obviously there was some sort of evidence on there. Remember that when it came out about him, Brady like smashed his phone, like they couldn't recover the original device or whatever. Like this nigga got rid of the phone, bro. If you
listen,
remember.
I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to do anything
y'all talk
to
about
take away from Brady's
shit,
legacy. I'm not doing that.
Just going off of what y'all are talking about, like technically speaking, you know.
There's a lot. That's what I'm saying. You are favored. Let's not act like you're not highly favored by the organization. When I say the organization, I don't mean the Patriots. I mean the NFL. The NFL as a
white guy. What do you expect?
There's a reason why the refs were always on his side. There's a reason why there was always a call. But to go back to my original point, he was never the quarterback that was willing to take a hit.
You crazy. Broncos beat us up a couple times. Like,
man, no. That's what you don't understand is that's not willing. That's not willing to take a hit, G. That's not willing. That means you got hit. Willing to take a hit is stepping outside of that pocket or past that line of scrimmage and scrambling for some yards.
Got hitting in his chin a lot of times. Like,
hits happening and willing to take a hit are 2 different things. You can't avoid.
Eagles beat us up in the Super Bowl. Like, the Rams. No, y'all did not in 06. Don't do that.
So let me ask you this. So if I say something like, who was more willing to take a hit, a Lamar or a Roger or a Brady, what would you say?
Who? You said Lamar?
Lamar
Which
or
one?
Brady? What would you say?
Lamar, because he runs the ball.
I'm glad. That's exactly what I needed you to say. He runs the ball.
Run first.
He takes the opportunity to put himself in danger for extra yards. Brady was not that guy. If you got him in the backfield, you got him in the backfield.
Dash. You see him run the 40-yard dash.
Listen, it doesn't matter. You think Aaron Rodgers is fast? You think Aaron Rodgers is fast?
He don't run like that.
Oh my gosh.
That's why his ankle. That's why he's out now.
Timeout number 2.
That's why he's out now. You timeout.
Timeout. No, he said
you be saying some fluky stuff.
Timeout number 2. That's why he's out now. We just talked about it. He's out now because he was 39 years old last year, scrambling for first downs. What are you talking about, CT?
Because he want to be Mr. $70.
Oh, now we changing shit. Now we change it. You see how motherfuckers change the goalposts?
Brady rather put some money into that O-line. You stupid want to be. Oh,
no, nigga, we talked about it on the podcast. Rodgers can tell you what he needs all he wants to. It doesn't mean the organization is going to give it to him.
What do you mean?
Brady came to
now
an
we gotta
organization
go get this O-lineman from
that
BYU
was already in place.
From Old State. What'd you say?
I said Brady came into an organization that was already in place.
No, we wasn't.
Oh, my gosh.
We wasn't going to those Super Bowls every year like that.
No, neither were the 49ers, but Brock Purdy also came into a situation that was already in fucking place.
Brock Purdy did. Brady
stop.
did.
Why are we stop the cap movement?
The only thing I'll say is, to CT's point, is prior to Purdy coming, the 49ers were already a playoff team. I don't think the Patriots might have been they might have been with, like you said, Bledsoe.
Just like Andy Reid. Andy Reid seen a lot of good teams. Andy Reid seen a lot of good quarterbacks.
But they weren't.
But he ain't got over that hump until he got with Patty Mahomes.
I will say that. I'll say that.
It's
on
the same
CT's
thing.
Side, I will say that. They weren't as good as the 49ers were as Brock Purdy got them, but they were still an already put together organization.
You look at it. Right.
But Purdy's gonna be the one to get them over that hump type thing, like Brady was.
I don't deny. I'm not denying any of that. Your guy just don't take hits. Keep it a buck.
He was taking hits. We just had some of the best old linemen. We had Matt Light at old lineman on the left side of block for him. We got.
You ain't got a line to kick it, Craig.
Yeah, he had a couple dogs on.
We had some good linemen up front.
Golly.
Made sure the defense was solid too.
Bears quarterback Justin Fields said coaching could be the reason he's playing robotic.
No.
You know what? You know what?
That's accurate, or he's deflecting blame?
I think that is immediate deflection of blame. I think immediately, but then the first thought I said is, you know what? The reason why I said that is because last year he played loose as fuck. He was rushing for 100 yards, passing for 200. Like, he played loose. And I wouldn't doubt that someone didn't try to come in and talk to him to protect their investment. Like, bro, you're going to get hurt if you keep playing like that.
Because a lot of people didn't know what to expect from him.
Right. You're going to get hurt if you keep playing like that. So we need you to be more tight. And now he's feeling like they put the shackles on me. That's why I'm robotic. That would make sense as well, because I drafted Justin Fields as my number one quarterback, and
they try to give him some weapons too.
He did last year.
So they try to give him some weapons so he ain't got to run a lot.
But maybe that's him. Look at Lamar.
Right.
Look at Lamar. Lamar is still running. Like, we thought that he was doing that because he didn't have anybody. Nah, he's like, fuck it, I'm still gonna do it.
You crazy if he's not gonna run. I told you MVP this year.
But why wouldn't Justin? Justin's no different than Lamar. He's just not as shifty.
Right.
But top speed, all that the same. And he's a bigger dude, so I can really drop my shoulder if I want to.
Up early in the season. You
but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you're a similar kind of player and you in an organization where they like, these niggas got me on a leash, but then I'm looking across at a nigga that's doing exactly what I want to do.
What you wanted, that's the thing. He wanted to do it, but he can't.
Well, he proved to you he could. He was breaking Lamar's records last year. It's just your organization doesn't want you to.
Garbage points.
I'm just saying it's not that he can't. It's very clearly not that he can't. If anything, it would have to be someone told him not to.
When you game plan for it now, it's different.
Last year wasn't his rookie year though.
It wasn't. You're right. This is third year.
It was. This is his third.
You're right.
Because the first year he had Andy Dalton with him.
Yep.
So if he's still doing it his
But last
second
year was
year,
his
that
first
means he has
4-year
talent
plan.
to do it.
I just don't think it's a good look. It's a lot of quarterbacks
No, it's not a
getting
good
banged
look.
up.
It's not a good look, and it does look like what were the options that you said that we agreed. Me and CT both agreed. It seems like whatever you said, placing the blame on the organization or whatever. It does seem like that, but looking at it as well, I think I see why he's saying it. But I'm usually the kind of motherfucker that tries to get both sides, even if I don't
Yeah,
agree.
no, I hate nowadays they throw a coach on the bus quick.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
But, and I'm sorry, what was you about to say, Mal?
No, I was just saying, like, that's fucked up.
It comes down to capitalism.
Wow.
Everything is a money grab now. And if this nigga's affecting my contract, I'm going to say something. You're stopping me from being as productive as I would be to get the contract that I'm gunning for. I'm going to say this coach is shitty. That's why I'm
Even
robotic.
if you say something close like that in the media, they going to run with it.
No, I see. That's why a nigga like me don't make shit like that. Because I'll tell you, listen, at the end of the day, this coach, while he may be a good coach, he's affecting my bottom line. I am not able to do what I need to do out on the field to show you I'm worth more than I'm currently getting paid because of this great coach right here. I'm just saying it may be best for me to take my talents to South Beach like LeBron.
Hey, printing off quick, hot off the press.
Yeah.
Full of quotes. They said Lions' Jared Goff has not thrown an interception in 359 attempts. He's flirting with history thanks to risk-free approach. Jared Goff's interception-free streak currently stands at 359 snaps, the third longest streak in the NFL behind Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
I told you Jared Goff was above Matt Stafford.
Oh, for sure. I mean, at this point, well, I don't know, because Matt Stafford got a ring and Jared didn't.
No, hell no.
That's that ring talk.
But they played on they had the same teams, just got switched. Like, literally just
No,
got...
they didn't have
They
the
didn't
same
have the
teams.
same teams.
For the most part.
They didn't have the same teams.
I don't think
They
Matthew
got
Stafford
Aaron
ever had a
Donald.
team.
They got who was the safety that they picked up?
Hold on. CT.
I said
That's
not Aaron Donald. I meant Von Miller. They had Aaron Donald.
the best wide receivers of all time and former Calvin Johnson. What are you talking about?
That's it, though. Like,
No, but I'm just saying, like, to your point, I mean, like, he had...
but I'm saying the way they put these Detroit teams now together, it looks way better than what they was
I'm not
giving Matthew
disagreeing with
Stafford.
I agree, but I don't even know if I would say put together. I just think they filled the pieces that they needed. You know what I'm saying? They were already on the, like, right at the edge. They just needed a few pieces filled to get there, and they so happened to fill them with the linebacker Martinez, Aiden Hutchinson, and who's the cornerback that they just got out the draft? I think they drafted a corner too. I can't think of his name.
I like the tight end they got, Laporta.
Yeah, he's nice on apparently.
I swear.
I don't know that I'm too familiar.
Gibbs, the running back.
Who's the tight end that you said?
Brian Branch, Cliff.
Is that the? But he's not a rookie though.
No.
Yeah, they got here, round 2, pick 45.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Oh,
he
this
the one that
year?
took that pick. He took the pick 6 back
Okay, then
against
that has to be
Mahomes.
who I'm thinking of then.
He's like number 30, 32.
I don't know what number he is. I just looked up.
Yeah, that has to be who I'm thinking of then. All I'm saying is those 3 additions were pretty wow. Like, the team changed when they put those 3 players in. That linebacker. Martinez or whatever his name is. That motherfucker a dog.
He a
Like a
dog.
dog.
Wait, Aiden Hutchinson over there running
He's a
Hutchinson
dog
over there
too.
too.
He's a dog. He's a real life dog too.
because he went to that school up north. You already know.
Man, fuck that school up north, but he's a dog.
Dog.
I ain't even gonna say that. I was gonna say I say fuck him all the way till he gets up out of there. But once he gets up out of there,
it's fair.
listen, I don't have that disdain
I like
for
Reynolds
the
too.
Lions
I
like I do the Wolverines.
Reynolds at wide receiver. He looks nice. He like number 8.
Yeah, they got a decent squad for real. They got a real life decent squad for real. I think they are the sleeper out there.
Were they 2-0?
Hell no.
Ain't
They
they?
lost their last game. I think they lost their last game.
And they lose to the Seahawks.
They did lose to the Seahawks.
Close game. Yeah.
They did lose to the Seahawks. I had money on that game.
And they lost to the
Yep.
Seahawks.
You are absolutely correct.
Patty Mahomes restructured his contract. That man is a paid man once again.
Listen,
It seems like every week we see that.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes the only quarterback that get a restructure every 6 months.
They
or
said
every half
$50
a
million
year,
a year.
half a season or half of whatever.
If you know
they
gotta pay him.
They ain't never gave nobody NBA money like that.
Man, let me see what his contract. Where is it?
He deserve it though. I think they say he getting 50 a year.
Nah, he do deserve it.
He's a dog.
He for sure deserves it.
His endorsement's probably crazy too.
He owns a baseball team. So,
Okay.
they'll pay him $210.6 million between 2023 and 2026.
It's 50 a year.
I'm fucking up. Yeah, I mean, all right, go Chiefs. All that.
He was already his last contract too. He was getting a couple mils, so he's good.
Oh, we ain't talk about Nick Chubb. First of all, the Browns losing to the Steelers.
Yep, I had that
awful game
in my head.
Offensively, at least.
It sure was. But Nick Chubb going out, that was fucked up.
He doesn't throw it to Peoples Jones at all. He don't throw it to nobody.
He don't. But I'm not giving him up. He on my squad too. I'm not giving him up.
I was like, what's he doing? Like, he only throw it to Amari Cooper.
He dancing. He out of rhythm right now. Like he's getting back into his rhythm, and he dancing right now, doing a little unnecessary. And you know how that go when you dancing around nervous, you throw to your comfort blanket, and that's Amari Cooper at the moment.
Yeah, he always open too. They brought in Kareem Hunt too today.
I've seen that.
Yeah, the 1 year $4 million.
That's ugly how they do him though. Like, what if Chubb would have never got hurt? Was they ever gonna bring him back?
Nope. Nope, because Jerome Ford balled out that game.
Right.
He did, but obviously it looks like they probably gonna go with
16 carries,
Chubb.
106. He balled out that game.
A lot of people picked him up in the fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get in and somebody snagged him. But that's jokes on them because Kareem Hunt's out.
And then Deshaun Watson's fumble for the TJ Watt touchdown. That motherfucker.
That sealed the deal. They scored 2 touchdowns on defense. That was low key their offense.
What I've been saying about their defense though, Cliff, off the show. I said they got it.
No, they got a defense.
That's always what they're gonna be. They bread and butter.
All right, that's how Tomlin rock.
That's how that's Pittsburgh rocks. They've been that since the 70s.
They have for the most part.
And shit. They've always
Mike Tomlin's team's been crazy though.
This goes on, Cliff. Linebackers, boy.
Yeah, they had
who they best defensive player they had.
Even before then, shit.
I'm just saying in the Mike Tomlin era. I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah. But a lot of those were Bill Cowher guys. You talk about taking over a system or getting played like
Bill Cowher, yeah.
For the first few years on Tomlin, but for the first few years, those were Cowher's guys. You know what I mean? Now you got to see.
But what, he only get one?
Yep. He got that
one. That one with Jerome Bettis.
Mm-hmm.
His last year, low key.
Steelers won.
Yeah, he only
Oh,
got the one. That's a fact.
Yeah. What Mike got 2?
Donald?
Yeah.
Nah.
He got 2, I think.
He's
Mike got 2 or 1. 3.
he only has one.
Yeah.
1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was in what year was it?
Oh, 2010.
Nah, 2010 was Green Bay.
Year they beat
09.
Cardinals 27-23 Super Bowl 30.
2009, 2010. Which one up?
What year was it?
No, what year was? Hold on.
Santana Holmes caught that 1 catch. I remember that.
Ohio State boy.
Yeah, he ain't paying out to be shit. One hit wonder.
Ohio State boy.
It was 09, 010, I think, and then 10 or 11 was the Packers.
He had 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl. But yeah, when was fucking? I think it was it 2011? Wasn't it 2011?
I think you might be right.
But that's the one that beat the Packers, right?
I think we was in there 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really just not seeing the year.
Man, it says the Packers won. Oh, that's the year Aaron Rodgers won. I'm tripping.
In
This must have
2010.
been 08, 09 then.
Beat
09. Because it was against the Cardinals, Larry Fitzgerald now, because they had Kurt Warner at quarterback.
Well, let's run into these picks, and then you can look that up, and
Right.
then we gonna get these picks and hit them, and we out of here.
All right, what we got?
First pick, we might as well start with the Thursday night game, Giants 49ers, even though I think that's gonna be an easy dub for the Niners for real.
I'm going Giants by 7.
All
I mean, I said Giants. I meant to say Niners.
right, I know that was a joke. Ain't they missing Saquon too?
Yeah.
Out a couple weeks.
Yeah.
They look better without him, though, when they make that comeback against the Cardinals.
That was 2009. Okay. That's a long
I'm
time.
going 49ers 13.
I just hope my quarterback do good.
You got C Tizzle.
I got 49ers by 10.
Next we got Broncos Dolphins.
Dolphins by 17.
I'm going Broncos.
I'm going
3.
Dolphins 13 too. I gotta go.
I think the Broncos get their first dub.
Against the Dolphins?
Yeah, 2 of the number 1 quarterbacks in the league right now statistically.
I'm mad we didn't get the dub against the Dolphins.
I mean, the Broncos do got a decent defense, but I don't know if they got enough to pull out the dub.
Yeah, their offense do be looking sus.
Yeah, very. And that's a defense that's going to be working as well.
So they went into overtime. I think they was about to go to overtime off that Hail Mary. You see that Hail Mary by Russell Wilson?
I did see that play. Crazy. Yeah, he threw a Hail Mary to bring him back, and then they pulled a Seahawks Super Bowl moment and for a 2-point conversion and threw the ball.
Yep. Lost 33-35. He threw a Hail Mary.
That's the second time he should have audible and didn't audible.
I don't got nothing to say about the brother.
Yeah,
About the young brother.
when you ain't got nothing to say.
I don't got nothing to say about it. Titans Browns.
I'm going with the Titans in the upset by 3.
It ain't even an upset. I'm just going with the Titans.
They didn't beat the Chargers. They kind of rolling right now.
So they lost by a field goal to the Saints. So, yeah.
Who you get? How much CT?
I got the Titans by 20. Yeah, I don't even. The Browns is.
Titans 20.
They done. I think Henry going to have a day.
I think so.
Really don't want to.
Tannehill been looking.
Tannehill's been looking all right. I just don't. I'm going Browns 3.
I just don't see nothing getting better for the Browns if they look. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going Browns 3.
You can't beat the Steelers. That's...
Yeah, no, I completely understand that, but that game looked off. I'm hoping you don't have, and it's a high hope for the Browns, but I'm hoping you don't have 2 off days in a row.
Right.
You know.
He really had 3. He didn't look that good the first week against Cincinnati to me.
He didn't. He didn't. Bills Commanders. This one's interesting too.
Oh,
Commanders been looking nice.
Bills for
Damn
sure. Bills for sure by 13.
Bills by 13.
I like the Commanders too.
I'm buying to the Magic Johnson guy. He's the owner.
I think if they stay on Josh Allen head. I got the Commanders by probably 3. I'm gonna say 3 again.
Something in me is saying go with the Commanders, but
go.
I'm leaning Bills 6.
But you know how bad the Bills can play sometimes.
All right. And they can't afford to do that against Washington.
Interception party.
I'm going to go.
Tough decision on this one.
This one is, man. This one I
like what whoever the new owner and stuff in Washington, they looking nice, whatever they got boiling over there.
Damn, dude.
They had KD at the game, Joel. Jay-Z got some ownership, don't he?
I believe so. Am I going?
You gonna go Bills?
Nah, I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Bills. Yeah, Bills 6, like I said.
Yeah.
Colts Ravens.
You said who?
Colts Ravens.
Anthony Richardson's out on concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go Ravens.
Even if he wasn't out, gotta go Ravens.
You crazy. Richardson is balling the fuck out, boy.
Against the Houston Texans.
Oh, what you mean the Texans is not, bro? See, he one of them niggas, Flip. He don't know
Texans are fucking trash.
Don't know the Texans is about to be like the Lions, right, bro?
About to be what?
Like the Lions, bro. What you mean? They're on the
come.
They're on the CJ Stroud's been balling out.
Not within this year.
No, I'm not. You put a year on. See, that's the thing. I also didn't put a year on. I said they're on the come up. Like they've been playing good football.
It always looked good at the beginning, but yeah.
They've been playing. I'm just saying, as of lately, they haven't won, but they've been playing good football.
I'm going Ravens 14.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens. Well, yeah, Gardner. I might go Ravens 17, boy, because Gardner ain't. Gotta tell Cliff about Gardner, man.
Leave my nigga alone.
He getting minced and chewed.
He's stupid. Pats Jets.
Easy one.
You said Jets by 4?
No, I got an upset though. Jets by 6.
Jets 6.
Bet the dub, like you said.
I'm definitely going.
Gets it together. They still
Pats
got that
10.
That's 21. We gotta blow them out.
I don't see that happening,
but about 4 picks on Mac Jones at least.
You sick. Don't score off none of them.
This one, I don't know how to feel about it. The Steelers Raiders.
That's gonna be a sloppy fucking game. I'm already.
It sure will be. It sure
I think-
fucking will be.
The
I
Raiders
don't
get.
think so.
Raiders 3.
I think your boy Carlson kicks a nice little 60-yarder, 50.
You know what? You kind of stole my. You ain't steal shit. I'm going Raiders 3.
I got Josh Jacobs getting back to his natural day. We're gonna go Raiders by 14.
If they let him.
He need to go back to 22. I don't know what this 8 is or 28.
28,
whatever it was. Yeah.
Last one we got Eagles Bucks.
That's gonna be a close game because it's in Tampa and Philly's been struggling lately, even though we've been winning. I'm gonna say Philly by 6. I think it's gonna be a close game.
I've been liking the Bucks with Baker though. But
They do look good.
They ain't ready for that D line, baby. Jalen Carter about to get his. He's been going.
hey, that Bucks defense nice too.
That offensive line though.
I'm going
boy,
Eagles team.
we got one of the best O line. You should know by now, CT, one of the best O line D lines in the league.
Who you got, CT?
Bucks 6.
It just be.
I don't even believe in his.
Hey, come back next week. See who won.
Right.
I mean,
Y'all
it's
think-
possible.
To be continued.
You know? Who we got hitting them hoes?
Henry Blackburn,
Henry Blackburn. Who's that?
the
That's
safety,
a pirate?
the senior safety from Colorado State, to put that dirty hit on Travis Hunter.
Let's get the death threats.
He's a pirate.
Death threats.
He's been getting death threats. I mean, that ain't. I don't condone none of that.
Mm-mm.
That's ugly.
That was a
They,
dirty.
they sent. They said they sent out his address, his mom to his dorm room, address to his mom's house, their phone numbers.
I bet. I bet.
So,
But that's like Cliff be saying. These days. That is one of the things that
these days, the social media era, yeah.
era boy is a different beast compared to back.
That
back
shit
then.
weak, though.
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah.
weak. I mean, it's on the field, G.
Right.
I swear that's
If
what
they
it
ain't
said.
get back at him on the field team-wise, then ain't nothing that you got your motherfucking bitch ass involved
That's-
to do. But shit, for all that, the fucking D lineman that got that hit on Shador and drived his helmet into his
To the
shit.
ground?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a crazy
If
hit.
you gonna do that to the nigga that did Travis, I would like to know that motherfucker's name.
Yeah, Shador didn't get hurt though, so he's good.
It don't matter. That was listen.
That's what they don't think about. They looking at the bad, like, oh, Travis is out.
Nah, that don't fucking matter. That don't fucking matter. Even if you took a shot and missed, you got something coming, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You took a shot.
Mine's go to Stephen A. and T.O.'s beef.
I don't
Y'all
know
ain't
that I know
seen
about
that?
that. And
What
Terrell
happened?
Owens,
Yeah, look it up, Malk, real quick.
Beefing with who?
Stephen A. and
T.O.
Terrell
and
Owens.
Stephen
I
A.
gotta look it up. Let me see something.
That's
What they beefing?
it's B. He's like, you should have said something to me when you saw me at Colorado.
Oh, Terrell Owens totally annihilates Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith breaks down Terrell Owens. Stephen A. broke him down on his own show. And he brought the clip of him when he was crying.
That's ignorant, man. Them motherfuckers is too old to be acting like that.
Hey, that's really what I want to
Y'all motherfuckers is too old. Don't be letting y'all shit bleed in the platform.
He said he's still mad at I called Max Kellerman blacker than Stephen A.
Something that happened in 2019.
That's ignorant. That's ignorant, man.
I think that's when it happened when he was on the show with Max Kellerman.
It said.
And he was like, Max is more blacker than you. And he was like, you lost your damn mind, Terrell. And he was like, no, I'm mad. I'm upset. He was mad about that.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, they old. I think both of them need to hit him on that one, but
I swear they both got to hit him.
who is my hit-ems?
The Raiders once again.
No.
Nah, but I
They
will
don't.
give it to Jimmy G.
Oh, no, he can't.
Jimmy G gotta hit them bitches.
That's a P right there. Come on, Cliff. Can't hate on Jimmy.
Man, he gotta hit them hoes, G.
He gonna bounce back. That's why it's called bounce back, because he gonna do it.
Man, it don't matter. You gotta hit him. No rushes, no hurries. I'm gonna look next week too, and if I see another no sack, no hurry game, and you threw one interception,
I'm gonna make sure I look in on that too. Now that you said that,
man, one interception, yeah.
is he getting the ball out in 0.2 seconds? Is he standing back there with some time?
I mean, he moving a bit, like he moving around. He even takes off if he needs to, but yeah, nah, he gotta hit him. And if he fucks up against the motherfucking Steelers, he getting the same. Listen, hit him for the whole season.
Hey, that's the Steelers though. That defense don't look like it's not playing.
Hit him for the whole season.
TJ Watt looks like the defensive player of the year again.
Cliff, he broke the Steelers sack record for most sacks. That's saying something.
And that was his first touchdown last game ever.
Was it?
Yep. He's feeling himself
You know
early,
he is.
so yeah.
You know
He's
he
thirsty
is.
for that quarterback. The way he hits that edge, it's scary.
Right.
Nah, it ain't nothing like Micah though. Micah
Hey.
bull.
Micah said he want to be like Watt now, so
No, no, Watt is great, and I could see a guy like Micah giving Watt his praise.
yeah, he got
But
a
I have
podcast.
never seen a motherfucker hit the corner or the hole in a blitz like that. I've never seen somebody be on the quarterback as soon as they get the ball like that.
I've never seen. Hey, Myles Garrett did something. He did a Euro step the other game.
Lewis did it for years.
You said who?
Myles Garrett.
Who?
Who you talking about?
Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis did it for years.
Man, nah, it wasn't like that.
No,
man.
hit the edge like these guys.
And then Ray wasn't even coming off of the edge like that.
Harrison did it for years.
James Harrison, maybe. Yeah.
I ain't never seen nobody move like that.
James Harrison was strong though. He was using some strength.
I've never in my life seen nobody move like that.
But like the Von Miller bend the corner type thing, would they do that thing?
Man,
like,
he's on the quarterback before they get their whole drop done.
Yeah.
Like you don't even have time to in your mind recognize, oh, I gotta run. It's immediate. Like it's like he's already there. I haven't seen anything like it. And I'm a youngin', was a youngin' back in the day. I got to see
I remember watching Ray
Lawrence
Lewis
Taylor
and
all them.
Yeah.
Bruce Smith or Isaac Bruce, all them. But I've never in my life seen somebody get to the quarterback that fast. That shit was shocking to me. But I ain't got nothing else.
JJ Watt was like that too.
There's been a lot of them.
There's been a lot of people that get there.
Well, I'm trying to
JJ was crazy in his prime.
But like you gotta give it like, and this is me even being, I guess, anti-biased to my own team. Max Crosby was leading for a while. Yeah, he gets there, but he doesn't get there like fucking Micah Parsons.
But to your point, he's not in the conversation with them guys, though. Not even close.
But he was at a point, is what I'm saying.
I'll take one good year is nice, but I mean, like you said, the body of work.
But one good year in the top three that's saying something.
Yeah, but Chandler Jones with us.
Yeah, but some of these guys did it. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
Chandler Jones is out.
he's out there.
No, I miss him with the Patriots. He's been out a lot since he left the Patriots. He's staying out.
Well, he's on the Raiders now, but he's out. They wrote him
Yeah, I
out
know.
on a
That's what I was saying.
non-sickness or non-illness injury or something.
Yeah, he's out to the family reasons. It says NFL.com, so he's out to the personal reasons. But yeah, we back on Wednesday then.
Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday. Ain't nothing really popping this weekend that I would think to do one for.
You said Q won the pick'ems?
Yeah, Q did win the pick'ems last week. He got every one correct. He didn't get every, the spread, but he got the wins correct. You got 2 spreads. You got that Cowboys 20 and that Eagles 6.
Who got the 2 spreads? Me?
Yeah.
Well, a dog gonna be a dog, but we just gotta make it shake.
Yeah, you got Cowboys.
L's an L regardless.
But yeah, Q got every one right last week.
Damn.
So I got week 1, Q got week 2. To be continued for week 3. For all my shower heads, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell that nigga to troll. We'll catch y'all next week. We out this bitch.
She's I'll hit you next week, bro.